required high school class in most schools, it means you would need to take it again. That's no longer the case, though, in Greenfield, where a new policy that just took place is turning that idea up on its head. The Now's Ann Kelly is looking into it today. And Ann, I know you just spoke with the superintendent there, and he says this is about making sure that kids graduate on time, right?
Right, Candace, and removing barriers which keep that from happening, which brings us to this new policy. It allows students here at Greenfield Central High School to, if they fail a course, if they are still able to prove they learned that subject material, they can move on.
The policy applies to 3 different courses: Algebra 1, English 10, and Biology. All 3 are required by the state. You have to pass them to get a diploma, but not every student does. And now for those kids, a new option. The Greenfield School Board voting last month to allow end-of-course assessments to count for credit. Meaning, for example, if a student fails English 10 but passes the state's end-of-course assessment on the subject, they will still get the necessary credit. They don't have to take the class again to eventually get their diploma.
This isn't for our kids who are vying for the valedictorian spot. These are students who are going to have some lower GPAs that are just struggling to stay interested for 4 years to graduate.
Greenfield Superintendent Harry Olin says it's not a new idea. The state approved this option years ago, but few districts have jumped aboard, opted to try out a program that the director of school counseling, Kim Kyle, tells us, to be clear, only bumps a failing student's grade up a notch. If they pass the end-of-course assessment, they'll at the best get a D instead of an F. Not great for getting into college, but enough to get that diploma, which is a huge hurdle for some.
We have a lot of students who after school don't have the same amount of time as some students because they perhaps have a job where they contribute to the costs of their family. They may not have the internet access that some of our students have. So once they leave school, they essentially are done with school. But they're in class, they're listening, they're participating, and they're picking up the information, obviously, because when they get to that end-of-course assessment, they're able to demonstrate that mastery.
Here at Greenfield Central, just approved last month, and learning it has already made a big difference for some kids. As many as 26 students who were slated to retake a course this semester because they'd failed it previously were allowed to move on, take a new subject because they had proved their mastery in the course. For now, we're reporting live in Greenfield for the Now. Indy, Ann Kelly, RTV6.